News 4 San Antonio at 10. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Darian Trotter. We have a lot to tell you about tonight, beginning with breaking new information on the man who opened fire on 6th Street in Austin, killing 2 people and wounding 14 others before police shot and killed him. The man once lived here in San Antonio. You're looking at him right now. Here's what we've learned about 53-year-old Ndiaga Diagne. He entered the U.S. nearly 26 years ago on March 13, 2000 on a B-2 tourist visa. He became a lawful permanent resident in June of 2006 by way of marriage to a U.S. citizen and became a naturalized citizen in April of 2013. He was arrested in Texas in 2022 for collision with vehicle damage. Tonight, the FBI is investigating that shooting as a potential act of terrorism. It happened hours after the U.S. and Israel carried out a joint strike on Iran, killing Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And tonight we're bringing you team coverage from Austin and San Antonio. Vinny Moderato kicks off our coverage from 6th Street in Austin.
All day today, Austin police cars and caution tape have covered this area of downtown Austin. Many city leaders and people living in the community are shaken by the sudden tragedy that happened here early Sunday morning. This is the video shot by University of Texas at Austin student Nathan Coda that he says will forever stain his college experience. He says one of his friends was shot and injured during a mass shooting downtown early Sunday morning.
There's a pit in your stomach. You just can't believe it. It just missed his vitals. It could have been much worse.
Coda says he recorded that video after hearing more than 15 gunshots being fired into Buford's on West 6th Street. This happened right before the bar closed this morning at 2 a.m. Then there was another round of bullets.
If I had stopped to grab water or if I'd seen a friend on the way out of the bar, stayed for 4 or 5 more minutes, now I'm on the patio when he drives by in the car.
We know that a vehicle, a large SUV, drove several times around the block. At one point he put its flashers on, rolled down his window, and began using a pistol shooting out of his car windows.
Chief Lisa Davis says the suspect then parked around the block and continued shooting, later being confronted by 3 Austin police officers who were on nearby East 6th Street. Austin police says the shooting left 2 people dead and 14 others injured. The suspect died at the scene after being shot by police. The Department of Homeland Security confirms the suspect is 53-year-old Ndiaga Diagne, a naturalized U.S. citizen originally from Senegal. Law enforcement tells the Associated Press he was wearing a sweatshirt that said, quote, property of Allah, and another shirt with an Iranian flag design. The attack on the downtown bar happened a day after the United States and Israel's joint coordinated attack against Iran. The FBI is now joining APD's investigation.
There were indicators on the subject and in his vehicle that indicate potential nexus to terrorism.
Austin Travis County EMS says the first paramedics and Austin police officers responded to this area in under a minute. Austin police says Diagne started walking towards East 6th Street when he was shot and killed by police officers. This investigation is ongoing. Reporting in downtown Austin, I'm Vinny Martirano.
All right, thanks a lot, Vinny. Again, the suspect in that mass shooting once lived here in San Antonio. The News 4 I-Team's Jay Avila spoke to neighbors who described him as reclusive and hot-tempered. Jay was also there when investigators spoke to the suspect's ex-wife. He continues our team coverage tonight.
The suspect's ex-wife rents a portion of a home in Cibolo along with her 2 children. She chose not to speak with us, but she voluntarily went with investigators this afternoon to answer their questions.
The ex-wife walked out of the home, spoke briefly with investigators on the front lawn, then agreed to leave for an interview with them. They were gone for about an hour and a half, and then they returned to the home and investigators left without making any comment. While she was gone, her landlord confirmed the woman had been married to the suspected gunman. Neighbors were stunned by the connection to their street.
I think that's scary as hell. You never know who's living next door to you. You know what I mean? You talk to people, you invite them in your home, and you think that they're not harming others, but that's scary as hell, and I'll turn anybody in.
We also went by the suspect's former home in northeast San Antonio. A neighbor told us he moved out about a year ago and rarely came out of the house or spoke to anyone. At the time, the two children lived with him, and when his ex-wife would come over, the suspect would argue with her.
I never met the man. I just seen him argue with his kid's mother and the things that he would do to her. So, yeah, he had a bad temper. That's the only thing I know about him.
Investigators did not search the ex-wife's home. We are continuing to look into the suspect's background and his time in San Antonio. For the News 4i team, I'm Jay Avila.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay. The deadly mass shooting has military bases here on high alert. Joint Base San Antonio is conducting 100% ID checks at all of its installation gates. It's also increasing force protection activities, including the suspension of the Trusted Traveler program. The FBI says during a search of the suspect's car, they found some items that suggest what they're calling a potentially nexus to terrorism. Andrew Limparski continues our team coverage with how the FBI will determine if the shooting was indeed an act of terrorism.
In a potential terrorist attack like this one with ties to terrorism, there will be an international component to the investigation.
Former special agent for the Department of Homeland Security, Ari Jimenez, says the investigation into the Austin shooting could go global.
From the moment that we heard of combat operations over Iran, it's expected that there's going to be retaliation by these groups of fanatics and terrorists.
Tonight, CBS News reports while investigators executed a search warrant at the gunman's home, they found an Iranian flag and photos of Iranian leaders. Just one day after U.S. and Israeli operations killed the country's supreme leader. The FBI announcing a potential link to terrorism during a press conference Sunday morning.
What qualifiers are there when determining something is in fact linked to terrorism?
It's going to be, they've got to conduct their investigation, look for some of the evidence within their car, look for his social media activity to see if there's any connections to any outside groups, any terrorist groups.
Abel Pena, a former FBI agent with 26 years of experience, says the FBI is going to be thorough in determining a motive.
It's going to be a long-term investigation. As far as this individual here, I think they're going to run down all the leads just to kind of vet things out to see who he was involved in.
The investigation today ranging from 6th Street to a home in Pflugerville connected to the suspect, where federal agents spent hours. As the Austin Police Department coordinates with federal law enforcement, still no official word. This was an act of terror.
Based on my previous investigative experience, right now, no rock is left unturned.
And those former federal agents say there will likely be a focus on who else, if anyone, may have been involved in this shooting, whether it be financially involved, physically, or from online communities. And as you just heard, federal agents are likely to look at all possibilities. We will continue to bring you the very latest on the Austin mass shooting, both on air and online. You can find any new updates on our News 4 San Antonio social media pages, and again at news4sanantonio.com.